Buckeye Football Fangirl. My name's Lisa. For those of you who haven't tuned into the channel before, I'm the gal behind this channel. And I wanted to jump on and do somewhat of an unfiltered response to that TTUN game that we just watched, that awful, horrible TTUN loss that we just watched, where a lot of times my shows are pretty planned out. I kind of plan out what I want to talk about, what I want to see. I'm not really doing that with this, so doing things a little bit differently. But I've been sitting there thinking about how the game went down for the past, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes or so since the game ended, and just decided I wanted to jump on here real quick and record some of my thoughts that I've been having. So I got some ice cream here to help me feel a little better because obviously this is how I want to cope with that loss. But anyways, my first and biggest thought is, how in the world did that happen? Like, my brain is trying to make sense of what we saw on the field with this team, and it just can't. It makes zero sense what we saw on offense. We have not seen a worse offensive performance since maybe that Cotton Bowl, but I wouldn't even count that game because we all know what happened in that game at the end of last season. I guess it was still this year, but at the end of last season. Before that, my goodness, I cannot recall when we've seen an offensive performance so bad, and it makes no sense. We've seen these players, they played amazing. They played with passion, fire. They have the skills, they have the talent to make the plays that they needed to play, and they just didn't. Some of it was the offensive play calling. Why in the world would you call over and over and over and over again a play that is not working? Why would you call an offensive play and keep going back to it when it is running right into the strength of TTUN's defense, their defensive line? That run up the middle was driving me nuts, and it's still driving me nuts. Like, my brain is trying to make sense of it, like I said, and it doesn't make any sense. The other thought, the other takeaway is this defense played their heart and their soul out. They left it all on the field. They held TTUN to what, six, maybe 3 points if you don't count the turnover that led to a field goal. There was a turnover obviously that led to a touchdown. We basically handed them that touchdown on a silver platter and said, here you go, take it. And I don't know, I don't put that on the defense at all. I put that on the offense, those 7 points that they got. But the defense played their hearts and their souls out. They stopped them when it mattered. They held them to two field goals when they were close to getting into that scoring range, and they wouldn't let them in the end zone. The defense, in my opinion, was incredible during this game. They played beyond their potential. They played and they stopped them like they needed to. They only let them have 13 points the whole entire game. And that should be enough points to win a game. My goodness, it was the offense that really let us down. The offensive play calling, that again, it let us down. It doesn't make sense. And my heart goes out for all of those seniors who came back. Somebody pointed out on Twitter, a lot of the seniors who came back were on the defensive side of the ball. They were the ones playing their hearts out. They were the ones just leaving it all on the field. Jack Sawyer got an interception, which was incredible for him, but we can't even leave the game celebrating that because it's overshadowed by this loss. And I hate that for him. I hate that for the rest of the players who came back, who could have gone on with their life. They could be playing in the NFL now. They could have started their career there, and they chose to come back for this game. And then we see what we saw. It's awful. It doesn't make sense. My stomach hurts, my head hurts after that game. My heart obviously hurts because I love these Buckeyes. I love them with my whole heart, my whole everything inside of me. I was raised to be a Buckeye fan, born and bred in Ohio, spent my formative years there before I moved here to LA. And my heart is still there. I was just there this past week watching and celebrating that win against Indiana with my dad last weekend. And now there was so much anticipation, so much angst from the past three losses that the Buckeyes had against TTUN that they were supposed to get back on the field and avenge today, and then they didn't. They just didn't. And guys, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. I'm at a loss for words for that performance that we saw from the offense today. Is awful, just awful. The special teams performance, they had been on the up and up. They were on the rise. They were doing good things. They were blocking punts. They were returning punts for points. They were doing all kinds of things and making it happen these past 3 weeks. And then what happens today? Two missed field goals, no other plays, a punt that gave TTUN great field position, and that was, I think I misspoke. That was where they got the field goal. I think it wasn't an interception that got them that field goal. It was a punt that gave them great field position. That was a horrible punt, and they just had to get in field goal range then. And they did it. They got that field goal. They got those 3 points off of that. And it's just special teams killed us in that game. Special teams, offensive play calling, lack of offensive execution when we needed it most. And it hurts. It hurts. There's so many people calling for Ryan Day to be fired, and I can't blame them one bit. I've been a huge Ryan Day supporter for his entire tenure here. I like him as our head coach. I think he's a great guy. I think he's built an incredible culture among the players, but these games, there's something that happens in them. He just tightens up. He plays tight. He plays scared. And it makes no sense. It makes zero sense why he does that. He's got all the tools, all the weapons that he needed to win and just couldn't do it. I like him as a person. I just I don't know. I don't know if he's I don't know if I'm 100% on that bandwagon of getting rid of him, but I don't know what the other answer is. If we don't, and he comes and he just keeps losing these games that are important, these games that matter to us, he wins all the other games. You can't fault him for that at all. But these games that really matter as Buckeye fans, this rivalry game matters so much more to all of us than all of these other games we've played. It's so much more important than that Indiana game we played last weekend. Yeah, that was a big game. That was a top 5 matchup. We want him to win that, but the rivalry game is everything to us as fans, and to keep dropping it, it just can't happen. It cannot happen. I mean, what's the other option? Get rid of Chip Kelly, play calling, switch things up there. That was a big deal. Having Ryan Day give up the play calling this year, having him hand it off to somebody that he trusts enough to call the plays, but it ain't working. It just is not working. Those play calls, they crippled this team today. They didn't utilize the best weapons, the true strength of this Buckeye team. And that's another part that hurts. The wide receiver core is incredible, and they chose to run it 2 of the 3 downs, and it wasn't working. And I don't know why they did that. I'm speechless. It makes no sense, guys. It makes no sense. It's it's like you have the secret weapon. You have the advantage in these incredible skill players, and they are playing against a weakness on the opponent, and you just don't utilize them. It makes, I keep saying this, it makes zero sense. I feel like a broken record, but it doesn't make any sense. And I don't know. I was part of that live watch party with the OHIO podcast, and it's always a great time being on there, a great experience. But gosh, it was hard. It was hard seeing them go down like that. It was hard seeing them struggle and not play up to their potential, but to play down at the level of who they were playing. There's no excuses this year either. That's the thing. Before we knew about the whole cheating scandal and everything, obviously we weren't trying to make excuses, but then that news broke and it's like, well, duh, yeah, no wonder. But there's not that this year. There's not that. And it makes zero sense. It makes zero sense. So I know the regular season's over, obviously. I know there's still games to be played this year. There's still games for the Buckeyes. They will likely make it into the playoff. They will likely be seated low. And we'll see what happens in the playoff. It's anyone's game at that point. But I hate leaving the season with this game and this loss and this question mark of like what happened here. Even if the Buckeyes go on, let's say, supposedly, hypothetically, they go on, they make a great playoff run, they win the Natty. We still look back on this season at this game that we witnessed today, and we still say like, what in the world happened there? I don't know. That's looking ahead a bit. I'm not going to count my chickens before they're hatched anymore. I was definitely doing that before this game. Nope, no more. I can't count on it. My confidence in doing that with this team, it's gone. It just is. It just is. And we will see. As the rest of things play out, we will see. We're at the mercy of other things outside of our control. We had the chance to write our way into the Big Ten championship game. That's gone unless something crazy happens. Um, Playoffs still in reach, obviously, because of the craziness that's happened at the SEC and other teams. But I don't know. It's not a given for sure. It's not even a given or a guarantee that the Buckeyes are going to go in there and win it. So I don't have the confidence in that anymore. The defense, for sure. Defense is a championship caliber defense. They've got the heart, they've got what it takes. The rest of this, though, has me deeply questioning. And I'm a fan who finds it hard to take my scarlet and gray glasses off. I do. It's so hard to get me to take those things off because I love these Buckeyes so much. But I don't know. This game, guys, this game was brutal. It was awful to watch. It hurts. It stings. It doesn't make any of these past years better. It makes them worse, I think. And I still love these Buckeyes. I will still root for them. I'll cheer my heart out no matter what. No matter what happens. If Ryan Day is coach or not, I am still going to be cheering for these players. I still love what we've got to see from them this year and this season. It was incredible up to this game. This game was not incredible except for, again, the defense. But I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful for this season, for this chance to watch this team play. I hope we have many more games ahead of us. It's not a given though anymore. It is not. We controlled that destiny and that ship has sailed. So these are my thoughts, a bit unfiltered with my ice cream. Makes it a little bit better, but obviously it's still lost in the end. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate those of you that I have gotten to know a little bit better through doing this channel. This channel has been so incredible to get in touch with other Buckeye fans located all across the country, even some across the world. You guys are incredible. You guys are the best fans ever. This team, I know we're gonna continue loving them. It's a lot of us. It's in our blood. We can't help it. And no matter what comes, what happens, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all of your comments that you guys have left on videos, all the chats during the live watch parties, all the comments on my tweets, and everything else that I've done. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And I'm going to keep loving these Buckeyes again, no matter what. No matter what. All right. Till next time, guys.